In this video, we're going to look at a simple interest problem. Identify the givens and the goals in each problem and write your final answers as complete sentences. So you are investing in an account that earns 8% simple interest. Now, we already have the question coming up, but there's some more given information in there. So the question is, how much would you need to deposit in an account now in order to have, and notice this is given information, $5,000 in the account in 10 years. Then we're also asked, this is a question, what percent of the original amount is the interest? Round your answer to the nearest cent. So first let's use letters to denote the information that we're given. So we're investing in an account, it's 8% simple interest, so R equals 0.08, so that's 8% as a decimal. Okay. And we need to know how much you need to deposit in an account now in order to have $5,000 in 10 years. So note, in the other problems we've done thus far, we were given the principal. But this, we're trying to find the principal, because the principal, P, is the amount you invest or borrow at the beginning. And this amount will be capital A, which is the amount of money you want to have at the end of 10 years' time, or RAT. Coincidence, sorry, just noticed that. Okay, so the first question asks us to find the principal. So the principal amount we need, so we end up with $5,000 in 10 years at 8%. So let's go to our formulas. Here we have the formula solved for the principal. It's the amount divided by 1 plus the rate times time. So let's write that out. Principal equals amount divided by 1 plus RT. Okay. Notice I put the 1 plus RT in parentheses. The parentheses aren't really needed in this formula as it's written. They would be implied, but when you put it in your calculator, you need to make sure you put parentheses there, so it's good to have it like that. So we have 5,000 divided by the quantity 1 plus 0.08 times 10. So now let's go to the calculator. 5,000 divided by parenthesis 1 plus 0.08 times 10, and then we'll close the parenthesis, and I'm going to look at this to make sure it's correct. 5,000 in the numerator and this entire expression in the denominator. And if we round this to the nearest cent, it's $2,777.78. Okay, so some things to notice to be able to verify your work. Notice that this value, the original principal, should be less than the end amount. Since you're earning interest, the end amount should be more than the principal. Okay, so check for clues like that as you're reading through the problems to make sure you use the right formula. And let's write that as a sentence. You should invest $2,777.78 now. Now the second part asks what percent, let's write out this so we could write using our percent forms, what percent of the original amount is interest. So note, here's our of the original amount. Okay, so this tells us what our whole is, or the denominator when we're finding the percent. We're solving for a percent because it says what percent. That tells us that's what we're trying to find. Okay. Don't be confused by the word amount or the fact that the original amount they gave us was 5,000, because that, remember, represents the end amount. Okay. So the original amount in terms of time is how much you originally invested. Okay. So this $2,777.78. Okay. And we want to know how much is interest. So we need to find the interest first because we actually weren't asked to find that. Okay. So the interest, let's just do this on the side, would be the end amount, so A minus P, the end amount minus the principal, and we could do that in our heads, but let's do it on the calculator. 5,000 minus $2,777.78. Okay. So the interest, too many repeating numbers. The interest is $2,222.22. So let's just notice for a minute that if you invest this amount, 2,222, that's pretty close. It's not quite 100% of how much you invested, but that's a decent investment. Okay, so we're going to write the interest over the original amount, which is the principal, $2,777.78, and multiply by 100% to write it as a percent. Great, that number is already in there, so I'm going to divide by 2777.78 times 100. So that is, I would round that up to 80% interest. Okay, so notice the third decimal place is a 9, so you round up, which makes you round up, which makes you round up. So 80%. So again, also notice, and this will happen for simple interest problems, but not future ones, if you multiply the interest rate times time, 8% times 10 is 80%. Oh, let's write this as a complete sentence. The interest is 80% of the original amount.